Hello, everyone. Day 3 of the OMB Memorandum 25-13 response. I am doing this camera off this morning. It was a late night. Prayers for all of those impacted by this devastating and terrifying plane crash in the DC area. And I am going to get right into it. Yesterday, we had a memorandum issued that was rescinding the memo. And we have this clarification from Presidential Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt, where she's saying it's not a rescission of the federal funding freeze, it's simply a rescission of the OMB memo. Why? To end any confusion created by the court's injunction. The president's EO on federal funding remain in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented. So, going back to, this FAQ memorandum, these are the specific EOs. So they're basically just saying like these EOs already stand alone. So these are authorizing us to do what we are doing, which is the review, which is per the implementation document. So I shared this in my video yesterday, listing out all of the sources of funding. And on page 2 of the PDF, this is where you can see all of the questions that each agency is going to be responsible for answering. And so, yesterday I went to page 18 and showed you 93-210, tribal self-gov, on page 21. We have 93-440, Indian self-determination, so more IHS dollars. So, we have several sources of our funding on this listing. So you'll see the HUD funding on here. You'll see all sorts of competitive grants that we have. And so what do we do? What do we do? We remain vigilant. We stay the course. I am seeing some tribes are financially doing very well. They're okay right now. Others are not. And depending on where you are on that spectrum and you need some support, I still have this draft financial contingency plan. I'll link it underneath this video so that you can have this. I also spoke about this in my last Inbox Money newsletter that went out in the middle of January, but you can find this under Media and Insights and under Inbox Money. And when you click on issue number 3, you can scroll past to the very bottom where I sort of speak about, what's on the table. And here's a link to the NCAI presentation that I gave where I'm speaking of how to create those reduced funding impact reports. And so click this link. That's a step-by-step walkthrough. Again, link to the article. You've already seen this, and that's embedded in the contingency plan. You can hear me talk about how the impacts of a government shutdown were impacting us in this NPR interview. And I am going to close this video out now, but I just say all this to say, stay vigilant, stay on it, don't give up.